Welcome to a new video. Today we're going to look back at current Premier League managers and their playing careers in football. We'll be looking back between 2004 and 2006 and seeing how successful these guys were on the football pitch. Of the 20 clubs coaches, we'll be looking at the 11 who were playing professionally in this time period. Let's start out our search though, and see what our first manager was doing. A rather smug looking Graham Potter. Probably just found out Chelsea have given him another £500 million to spend. Before Chelsea though, he had very successful spells in charge of Östersund in Sweden and also Brighton and Hove Albion. During his playing days though, he was a bit of a journeyman, playing for 11 clubs in 13 seasons. We find him here in his final professional season with Macclesfield Town. He would go on to retire in 2005. Sean Dyche, now tasked with the difficult challenge of keeping Everton in the Premier League, his playing breakthrough came with Chesterfield Town in the English lower divisions. Spells at Bristol City and Millwall followed, before he went to Watford in the Championship. He finished his career in 2007 with Northampton Town. Mikel Arteta, now Arsenal manager, he had an enduring playing career too. Coming through the Barcelona youth system, he moved to PSG on loan for development. After one season in Paris, Rangers came in for him. He spent 2 years with a Scottish club before moving again to Real Sociedad. The final 11 years of his career were spent at Everton and Arsenal. Gary O'Neill. After taking over from Scott Parker, he became Bournemouth head coach. Here he's at Portsmouth, the club where he won his first championship promotion. He retired in 2019, having made 542 appearances in English football. Next up, we've got Jesse Marsch of the Chicago Fire. Before entering the dugout though, he was an accomplished midfielder. Drafted by DC United in 1996, he went on to win 2 MLS Cups at the club. He was eventually traded to Chicago Fire. He again won another MLS Cup. The final club of his career is where we find him now. Nathan Jones. The Welshman is now in charge of Southampton, but before that, he had an over 20-year playing career. His career took him to a variety of clubs, including Numancia, Southend United, and also Yeovil, where we find him today. He retired in 2012 and has since gone on to manage 3 teams. Patrick Vieira. Here we find him at Juventus. His playing career started at Caen in France. A few years later, via Milan, he joined Arsenal for £3.5 million. He became an integral part of Arsenal's successful era in the early 2000s. Juventus came for him, but after Calciopoli, there was a mass exodus at the club. He went to Inter Milan and won 4 Serie A titles. He finished his career with Man City in 2011. Marco Silva, manager of my team Fulham. In 2006, we find him at Estoril. He spent the majority of his career in the Portuguese leagues. In all, he made 121 appearances for Estoril before retiring in 2011. Roberto De Zerbi progressed through the AC Milan youth system. After a period of going out on loan, he arrived in Foggia in 2002. Today we find him at Catania in Serie A. In 2010, he joined CFR Cluj of the Romanian First Division. Here he won his only 2 professional league titles. Pep Guardiola, a legendary manager, but also a damn good player. After coming through La Masia, he made 263 league appearances for FC Barcelona. He moved to Serie A in 2001, with spells at Roma and Brescia. Here we find him in his final professional season with Al Ahly in Qatar. Finally, we have Eddie Howe. Currently at Newcastle, he helped save them for what looked like a pretty perilous situation last season. For the majority of his playing career, he was on the south coast of England, mainly with Bournemouth, a club where he made over 250 league appearances. He retired in 2007 and shortly after became the team's manager. I hope you enjoyed this brief review of what Premier League managers were doing in the mid-2000s. All of these guys came from a variety of nations and leagues. They all had in common the passion and desire to enter football management. Time will tell how successful they will be. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.